Welcome back to episode 4 of the Skateboard Ranch. Before we go ahead with today's video, I would just like to welcome the new subscriber and thank everybody that liked and commented on the last video. And I also have a question for you. So I've been working on the side to produce a few pieces of clothing, hoodie, t-shirt, hats with the awesome logo that David Lebicard made for the Skateboard Ranch. Basically, I'm wondering if any of you guys would be interested in one of those items. If so, what size would you like? Let me know in the comment and it will help me a lot to put a first order that makes sense. So, when I left you guys at the end of the last episode, I was trying to lower the level of the lake. Honestly, I didn't have that much time to work on that project, but I kept monitoring the level of the water. So when I first came back to check on my breach, I realized that I'd lost about 3 inches of water. So I decided to widen the opening a bit and see if I would lose some more water.
I'm not sure if they're fish. Well, it looks like little fishies or they're frogs.
When we came back the next day, we had lost even more water. I'd say about like 5 inches total. If we look at the map, I made my first opening right here. But basically, I'm only feeding water into that little swamp. So I made a second opening to try to drain that little swamp back into the bigger lake. But when I went to check on that second opening, it was blocked. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might have a beaver situation on our hand. He might not have been too happy about that second breach. So I removed all the material that was blocking the water and made the opening even wider.
Oh! Là, je vais essayer de défaire les autres.
In just a few minutes, we had lost about like 3 or 4 inches in the little swamp alone. So I'm gonna monitor that one closely and see if the beaver comes back. But right now, I've got so much more important stuff to do in the house. There is so many different projects to tackle in the house that it can be a bit overwhelming and hard to know where to start. But we figured out that we're gonna keep it simple and just remove all the old stuff first, so the carpet and boat rooms had to go. That was a no-brainer. In the main living area, we kept pushing forward by removing what was left of the division between the old bathroom and old kitchen, and trying our best to clean up as we went because we were still using that same area to chill at the end of the day. But when I finally got at opening the original wall of the house, it really dawned on me what I got myself into. Basically what we've got is a century-old log building where people have just been building over the original structure layer by layer. As I'm peeling those layers one by one, I'm exposing decades of mice dropping, old hornet's nest, and even old clothing that were used in between the beams to insulate. Like so far, every section of walls we took down had its own surprise for us. I started to realize that if I want to do a good job, I'm going to have to open all the walls. So it's going to become harder and harder to live in the house at the same time as work in there. Then one night, as I'm randomly scrolling down Marketplace on Facebook, I stumble on a listing for a little shack. Like solar panel, power converter, a TV, furniture, wood oven, gas oven, like the whole shebang. It was almost too good to be true. Basically, we could live in there while we renovate the house, and then as soon as we're done, start renting it, and basically it would become our first little shack for the skateboard ranch. Once we reached a deal, we only had to take the shack home. Yeah, easier said than done, again. Technically, the delivery was included in the deal, as long as I was willing to help André, the neighbor of the woman selling the shack, to do the transportation with his trailer and his truck. According to André, everything was going to be a piece of cake. He had done it before, and overall he seemed pretty confident about the whole hoisting a shack down a hill onto a trailer thing. I was a bit skeptical, but who am I to judge? I'm not an expert. after more than 8 hours of moving inch by inch, there was no way we were actually doing the drive the same day. So we met up the next morning to finish the job. As I watched the rig setting out to hit the road, my confidence level hit a all-time low. Honestly, I wasn't too sure if we were going to make it. But at the point we were at, there was no turning back. So we hooked ourselves up on a 3-way phone call, Val in front, Andre in the middle, and me in the back, with a 10-foot 2x4 to take care of the low-hanging phone lines. Everything was looking good for now, but we still had a 27 kilometers trip ahead of us, including a 1-mile stretch of single-lane highway on the 117. At first, I thought the rain was going to be a major pain in the ass, but in the end, I think it really helped us by keeping a lot of people home on that Sunday morning. So the road weren't too busy, and we were able to make it through that stretch of highway without having a huge line of people waiting behind us. Honestly, I really have to admit that that part of the journey went a lot better than I thought. Everyone stayed calm, the communication was excellent, so we made it to a destination without a scratch. We were almost done. We only had that small little detail to take care of, getting the damn thing off the trailer. Luckily for us, we didn't have a toy tractor to finish the job. Like a real red foreman, Andre tells me to stop after I hit the trailer and then gives me attitude about it. My patience was really running thin at that point. So after finally hooking up the chain, I gave it a go. I'm pretty sure a real-life red foreman would have called me a dumbass at that point, but Andre kept his composure. So after resetting the strap the exact same way, I gave it another go. After snapping the strap for the second time, Andre finally agreed to go with the full chain setup, even though he kept blaming my clutch release abilities. I was ready to let him have his win and operate the tractor, but I really don't think he got the thing moving because of his gentle touch. We were almost done, so it really wasn't the time to start the pissing contest. After a few more tries and a lot of wobbles, the shack was finally resting on the ground. I'm poking some fun at Andre, but I can honestly say he's a genuinely good guy. Did he underestimate the task? Probably. But did we pull through in the end? Totally. After all those adventures, me and Val were burnt, so we headed back down to Montreal for a well-deserved night of sleep in our real bed. We had been working at the house for 6 days straight, so it was time to go back to running water. So that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you've liked the video. If you do, don't be shy. Hit that like button, comment, share, help me work that algorithm. And I'll see you soon for more adventure at the Skateboard Ranch.
Your little friends are right there. Hello. It's going away. So the shack was there, and then woo, it's over there. And the bronze.
The wink, the double wink.
Finger gun.
The wink and the gun.